All right, y'all. Let's talk Dallas Mavericks. I was thinking about teams, I haven't talked about yet, and Dallas came up, and relatively quiet offseason in terms of new additions. Obviously, they extended Luka to whatever it is, 5 years, $207 million. They flew to his home. You could tell I was going around. Slovenia, his home Slovenia. I get there's all that, Slovakia, and then you have, used to be Yugoslavia. And they went to Luka's home country and said, let's get this deal done. Obviously, I don't think Mark Cuban's afraid to pay people, especially, when he understands their value and everything. So they extend Luka, they extend Tim Hardaway Jr., something like 4 years, 74, something like that. Boban for another year. And then they bring in Reggie Bullock, who I always thought was Reggie Bullock, but then the Knicks made the playoffs and all of a sudden he's Reggie Bullock. It just doesn't sound good to me personally. So him, kind of stretch the floor 3-and-D kind of guy. And also Sterling Brown, who, he's like 2 for 6, and Reggie Bullock's like 3 for 30, something like that. And that's what you have. So you didn't really lose anybody if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan. You did trade Josh Richardson for Moses Brown. Take that for what it's worth. And yeah, so you're looking at a roster, still got Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith. Here's the thing. Everyone, I think, agrees that the Mavs have a window with Luka. They have a generational talent. He's still, 23, 22. And, they got to keep him happy. It's going to be the same thing with Giannis. Thank God that he re-signed. It's always the same thing, especially when these young guys become superstars. It's going to be in Boston with Jason Tatum. It's always going to be, how do we keep him happy? How do we keep him here long term? And I think it depends on the guy. I don't know. You get this sense that GMs don't talk to their players very much, and there's just like a weird disconnect. Because if I'm a GM, I'm asking, my guys who actually play in the NBA and play against these people, who do you like? Who do you think's improved from last year? Who do you think could be a good value play? Because they're on the floor day in and day out. They know everyone in the league. They might know them personally. They might have played with them since high school, AAU. And so, I feel like it sometimes seems like, oh yeah, we're trying to just keep them happy. It's like, well, just ask them what's going to make them happy. Sometimes it's just, you just got to throw a shit ton of money at them, and that's enough. Sometimes, they love the city, they love the culture, and, it doesn't really matter wins and losses. It's just a matter of keeping them in town on a good deal or whatever. So, I don't know what Luka wants. If he wanted money, he's got money now. If he wants to win, and not just make the playoffs, win a title, and even, understandably, he said, a gold medal could mean a lot more to him, which worries me a little bit, because obviously pretty much everyone else in the NBA is NBA title is kind of the end-all be-all. Nothing against him. I just think, it's understandable, because a gold medal for Slovenia is way different than a gold medal for the U.S. But if he wants to win, it's hard to see this roster as is, or even with, even if they got Kyle Lowry, they're still not in the upper echelon, title contending tier of NBA teams. I think you just need a massive overhaul of guys, because there's just not a lot to be excited about in this roster. And here's the thing that worries me a little bit is we haven't seen Luka with another star. Obviously, Kristaps is I don't know what Kristaps is. No one knows what Kristaps is. No one knows what he could be. We know what he was. And second star running mate to Luka on a championship contending team, probably not, unless he has like a crazy comeback year this year. But part of this makes me wonder if Luka has this LeBron effect. And when I say LeBron effect, I don't necessarily mean it in like a positive way, because obviously LeBron brings lots to the table in terms of benefiting a team. But it's out there that obviously, you know, when you look at Chris Bosh's numbers before playing with LeBron versus while playing with LeBron, Kevin Love, you know, it completely changes. They go from like, you know, like rebounding bigs averaging, Kevin Love had crazy numbers in Minnesota, and obviously he was the number one option, best player, but still, you know, he drops that significantly and becomes like a spot up shooter. Even rebound, you would think his rebound numbers would be the same, but I don't think they were. And same with Chris Bosh. And I feel like there's really no way to know with Luka. It's almost kind of like when you think about Kristaps, Knicks Kristaps versus Mavs Kristaps. Obviously there are injuries to consider as well, but you know, I'm a little worried that Luka, it's like a chicken and egg thing. It's like, does Luka not make his teammates better? Or his teammates... that was like a sick question right there, too. Had to hit the exit. Does Luka not make his teammates better, or are his teammates just bad? Or, you know, not great? Because if you look across like the NBA in terms of talent, I don't see the Mavs. I don't know, you take Luka off this team, what is their record? You know, like they're probably, especially in the West, they're like 12th at best. And nothing against some of those guys. I mean, I don't have anything against Dorian Finney-Smith. Or I love Boban, so we'll just put that out there. Maybe he should play more. Because with Luka, you know, they're a playoff team. And Jalen Brunson, actually, it's kind of crazy. We went all this way without mentioning him, because he actually had a crazy solid year for them. And the problem is, as good as Jalen Brunson is, if he is your second, third best player, ball handler, facilitator, like, it's good for him, but it's probably your team's just not going to be that good, and that's a sad truth. And I don't know, maybe, you know, Mark Cuban has his eye on the future. That Kristaps deal is like $30 million, and like his market value, I don't know what you're going to get from him, if you could even, like, that's a tough sell. Now you have this Luka money, and you just paid Tim Hardaway, which I don't love. Like, Tim Hardaway's fine. He's a good shooter. He's streaky as hell, and if he's hot, he's hot, but I'm not, that's, you know, 4 for 74 is what, like 37 divided by 2, like 17 and a half a year. I mean, that's a sizable chunk. He's presumably your starting shooting guard. Moses Brown becomes Wilt Chamberlain, and then you're good. Like, what's the plan here long term? Because here's the thing, right, too. So if Luka's kind of on this LeBron track, it's almost like the Mavs are on the Celtics track, where another good point, have to have the phone right. Luka's on the same, or the Mavs are on the same track as the Celtics, almost, where it's like, yeah, like the Celtics were, where it was Tatum, and the Celtics even had a better roster than Mavs, like by far, because they had Kyrie and Al Horford and all that. All right, y'all, I'll be quick. I accidentally hit the not stop button, and then I ran out of storage. But basically, what I was saying is that the Mavs, on the same trajectory as the Celtics, where they're just going to get all these young guys. They don't need young guys. They need to make a big trade or something to improve this roster, or they're just going to be in like slightly above mediocrity. Okay? That was my point on the Mavericks. Take care of yourselves. Take it easy. And we'll see you next time.